Welcome to month 11 of the Tech Lead track, Engineering Metrics and Analytics. What gets measured gets managed, but what gets measured wrong gets gamed. Today you'll learn how to implement DORA metrics, design balanced scorecards, avoid perverse incentives, and use data to drive engineering decisions. Hour 1 covers DORA metrics deep dive, the 4 key metrics, maturity levels, and limitations. Hour 2 focuses on productivity measurement, the space framework and metrics that backfire. Hour 3 tackles the engineering scorecard, balanced measurement across velocity, quality, health, and business impact. And Hour 4 covers data-driven decisions, using metrics to make better choices and communicating them to stakeholders. DORA, DevOps Research and Assessment, identified 4 metrics that predict software delivery performance. Deployment frequency. How often does your team deploy to production? Elite teams deploy multiple times per day. Low teams deploy once per month or less. Lead time for changes. How long does it take from commit to production? Elite teams, less than 1 hour. Low teams, 1 to 6 months. Change failure rate. What percentage of deployments cause a failure? Elite teams, less than 5%. Low teams, 16 to 30%. Mean time to recovery. How quickly do you recover from failures? Elite teams, less than 1 hour. Low teams, 1 to 6 months. These 4 metrics together predict delivery performance better than any single metric. The 4 DORA maturity levels map to distinct engineering capabilities. Elite performers do all 4 well: fast deployment, short lead time, low failure rate, fast recovery. They've invested in automation, testing, and observability. High performers do most well but may struggle with one dimension. They're on the path to elite. Medium performers are average across the board. They ship regularly but have room for improvement in speed and reliability. Low performers are slow across the board. Long lead times, infrequent deployments, high failure rates, slow recovery. Most organizations start at low or medium. The journey to elite is incremental. You don't get there overnight. DORA metrics are valuable, but not complete. Here's what they don't tell you. They don't measure developer experience. You can have great DORA numbers and miserable developers. Fast deployment doesn't mean the work is meaningful. They don't measure code quality. You can deploy frequently with terrible code. Speed without quality is dead accumulation. They don't measure innovation. DORA metrics optimize for flow, not creativity. Some of the most valuable work, research, prototyping, exploration, doesn't show up in deployment metrics. They don't measure team health. Burnout, turnover, and satisfaction are invisible to DORA. The takeaway. DORA is a starting point, not an ending point. You need additional metrics to get the full picture. SPACE measures developer productivity across 5 dimensions. Satisfaction. How fulfilled are developers with their work, tools, and team? Survey-based, not observable. Performance. How well does the system perform? Reliability, latency, availability. System metrics, not people metrics. Activity. What are developers doing? Commits, PRs, reviews, deployments. Count-based, but counts don't equal value. Communication. How well does the team collaborate? PR review time, knowledge sharing, cross-team interaction. Efficiency. How much time is spent on value-add work versus toil? Flow state, context switching, wait times. The key insight: no single dimension captures productivity. You need a balanced set across all 5. Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Here are common anti-patterns. Lines of code as a target. Developers write verbose code. PR count as a target. Developers create many small PRs instead of meaningful ones. Story points completed as a target. Developers inflate estimates. Bug count as a target. Developers stop reporting bugs. Uptime as a target. Teams avoid making changes. The pattern is always the same. People optimize for the metric, not the outcome. The metric becomes detached from the thing it was supposed to measure. The fix? Use metrics for learning, not for targets. Measure to understand, not to judge. And always pair quantitative metrics with qualitative signals. A balanced scorecard prevents over-indexing on any single dimension. Velocity, deployment frequency, lead time, cycle time. Are we shipping fast enough? Quality, change failure rate, bug density, test coverage. Are we shipping well enough? Health, developer satisfaction, turnover rate, on-call burden. Are our people okay? Business impact, feature adoption, revenue impact, customer satisfaction. Are we shipping the right things? Each dimension gets 2 to 3 metrics. Review them monthly. The scorecard tells a story that no single metric can. 5 steps to design metrics that don't backfire. Step 1. Define the outcome you want, not the metric, the outcome. Faster delivery, higher quality, better developer experience. Step 2. Identify leading indicators. What predicts the outcome? Lead time predicts delivery speed. Code review turnaround predicts quality. Step 3. Choose observable metrics. Can you measure this without self-reporting? Automated metrics are more reliable. Step 4. Test for gaming. How could someone game this metric? If the answer is easily, choose a different metric. Step 5. Pair with qualitative signals. Metrics tell you what happened. Surveys tell you why. Metrics exist at 4 levels, and each level serves a different purpose. Process metrics, PR review time, build duration, deployment frequency. These are tactical and actionable. Teams control them directly. Output metrics, features shipped, bugs fixed, incidents resolved. These measure delivery. Managers track them. Outcome metrics, customer satisfaction, revenue impact, adoption rates. These measure value. Directors care about these. Business metrics, market share, profitability, strategic goals. These connect engineering to the business. Executives focus here. The hierarchy matters because different audiences need different metrics. Don't show a CEO your PR review time. Do. Use metrics to ask better questions. Why did lead time spike last month? Why is satisfaction dropping on one team? Metrics are conversation starters, not conclusions. Do. Combine quantitative and qualitative data. The numbers tell you what happened. Developer surveys tell you why. Do. Set baselines before setting targets. You need to know where you are before you can set goals for where to go. Avoid making decisions on single metrics. One metric never tells the whole story. Always look at the constellation of metrics together. Avoid comparing teams using metrics. Different teams have different contexts. Comparison creates competition, not collaboration. Avoid using metrics for performance reviews. The moment metrics affect compensation, they get gamed. Different audiences need different metrics, framed differently. Executives care about business impact. Frame metrics in terms of revenue, cost, risk, and competitive advantage. Show trends, not snapshots. Connect engineering metrics to business outcomes. Managers care about team performance. Show velocity, quality, and health metrics. Help them identify where to focus improvement efforts. Individual contributors care about their daily experience. Show metrics that affect their work. Build times, PR review, turnaround, on-call burden. Make metrics actionable at the team level. The golden rule. Never show raw numbers without context. A lead time of 2 days means nothing without knowing what it was last month and what the target is. 5 principles for a healthy metrics culture. First, measure to learn, not to judge. Metrics are diagnostic tools, not report cards. Create safety around measurement. Second, make metrics visible and accessible. Dashboards that only managers see create distrust. Everyone should see the same data. Third, celebrate improvement, not absolute numbers. A team that went from low to medium deserves more recognition than a team that's always been elite. Fourth, iterate on your metrics. What you measure should evolve as your organization matures. Retire metrics that no longer serve you. Fifth, pair metrics with narratives. Numbers without stories are meaningless. Every metric change should have a hypothesis about why. Free case studies of metrics-driven improvement. The first, a team measured lead time and discovered 80% of delay was in code review. They implemented review SLAs and pair programming. Lead time dropped 60% in 3 months. The second, a team tracked developer satisfaction alongside DORA metrics. They found that high satisfaction correlated with better DORA performance. They invested in developer experience, tooling, documentation, onboarding, and saw both metrics improve. The third, a team used change failure rate to justify investment in testing. They increased test coverage from 40 to 80%. Change failure rate dropped from 20% to 5%. Deployments went from weekly to daily. The common thread? Metrics that drive action, not just observation. Your challenge has 4 deliverables, each worth 25 points. First, assess your team's DORA maturity. Measure all 4 metrics and identify your current level for each. Second, design a balanced engineering scorecard for your team. Include metrics across velocity, quality, health, and business impact. Third, create a metrics dashboard specification. Define what metrics to show, how to calculate them, and who the audience is. Fourth, write a metrics-driven improvement proposal. Use data to identify a problem and propose a solution with expected outcomes. Use real data from your projects. The goal is practical, actionable measurement, not theoretical perfection. 3 key takeaways from today. DORA metrics are a starting point, not an ending point. You need velocity, quality, health, and business impact to get the full picture. Metrics that become targets cease to be good measures. Use metrics for learning, not for judging. What gets measured gets managed. Measure what matters, not what's easy. And always pair numbers with narratives. Go measure what matters and use it to make things better.